pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to welcome everybody to the June 13th Selectboard meeting.
Thank you very much. First up this evening, department head updates. I have library. Barbara is working at the library as we speak. There's a touch a truck on Saturday, June 27th. Eli is at the field as we speak with my son's game. They are prepping for opening day at the pool and for summer safe haven. They still have a week, but the numbers for summer safe haven are a little lower than normal, but requests keep coming in, so they assume the numbers will increase. They have the district all-star tournament in Lancaster starting June 24th and going through the weekend. Swim lessons are up on the website now. The walkway is getting paved soon. As you know, that was in disrepair and will be removed and hopefully repaired prior to their 100th year celebration, which they're also busy on. In front of you this evening is also a request, the EMS report for, I'm just going to skip to the bottom. They had requests for 203 transfers and turned down 11 due to staffing. All fire trucks are in working order. All ambulances are in good working order. And there's also an inspection report at the back for Skagman's time attached. From Chief Woodward, there's a selectman report with calls for service, crash stops, and arrests. They still have one position to fill. They have one applicant who will be PT tested this Friday. New printers and base stands have been installed in the cruisers for the MDTs. The MDTs are at certified computers being set up and waiting on new SIM cards. They attended the first responder event at Santa's to coordinate with other agencies in case of an emergency. Almost all of the bike helmets that we've received complimentary have been handed out, so it means safer kids in the community. Isha's on Main Street was selling kratom. We had delivered messages verbally and written and issued warnings. They were issued a violation, a town ordinance violation fine of $1,000. Lieutenant Matthews and K9 Barrett will be in attendance at the Northern New Hampshire Emergency Services Showcase on June 27th. And she will assist the elder abuse specialist from the New Hampshire AG's office with a presentation to the AmeriCorps Senior Program workers on scams and costs. That's it for them. There's also a prosecution report.
Officer Jefferson back yet?
Yes, Officer Jesperson returned from deployment on Wednesday, June 10th.
So these almost have a full complement of.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Please make note of the prosecution information on the front page as well.
Yep.
Anything from you this evening, Abby?
The New Hampshire retirement audit request items have all been fulfilled based on their timeline. We probably won't hear anything back till August. If there are any follow-ups, other than that, pretty status quo.
Robin?
Planning board, we addressed the Highland Village and did a partial revocation of that rate build, so I'll be filing the notice of decision as soon as I get it drafted. The last, we think, presumably EOP meeting will be this Thursday. The applications for the equipment and the patrols for the police department have been submitted, and we got the reimbursement for the MDTs. So that's around 15,000 that we've gotten back. I have attempted to close out the tax credit grant because that's supposed to be closed by the end of June. Because the playground equipment came in so much lower than what we had originally estimated, project cost was much lower. Yet the town still made all the effort to sell the tax credits. So they are willing to work with us if we can find a project that has to do with Coloneltown for the 124,000.
What's the timeline on that?
Like now.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to get the request for an extension in by the end of June so that they'll work with us. And then I think the request for extension and the estimate, which I've already spoken with Jessica on the options. We'll get that in and see how it goes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's it for department head updates. Next up, appointments. We have Tricia Burnett here this evening for Lancaster beautification.
So, I just want to touch base on, like, for this year. I'd just like to thank you for all for letting me come tonight. The Lancaster beautification project is in its 5th year. In the 5 years, we've put in over $20,000 into helping making our town more vibrant. The project started out to enhance our main streets, then grew into enhancing our parks and public spaces for all to enjoy. My goal this year was to plant 20 trees. With the help from Brockman and Kaylee, I was very fortunate to get a grant of $2,800 from Lancaster Rotary. With this money, I was able to purchase 2 red maples, 3 sugar maples, 1 oak and 10 cedar trees, and 1 red beech. So the 2 red maples were placed in Centennial Park. The 10 cedars were placed out behind the town hall here to replace the dying hedge that was there. The 3 sugar maples went up into Soldiers Park along with an oak. And then the red beech went into Drew Park. We also were very fortunate to get 3 spruce trees donated from the Olson Tree Farm. Those were placed, 1 in Soldiers Park, 1 at Coloneltown, and 1 in the cemetery. So we're very thankful for their generous donation as well. I was able to put in 2 new cement pads in Cross Park up by the monument. These bases will help our benches that are in rough shape. They like to stay standing up, so we're in hopes that this will help them from falling over. And I hope maybe next year that can be incorporated into probably the project for next year to try to maybe replace some of them because they're pretty bad and people probably shouldn't be sitting on them. And lastly, Jessica asked me about staying the picnic tables in Centennial Park, so I did get those done just to help try to keep the wood vibrant, keep the wood strong. So I just want to say I'm thankful that, the town supports the project and for all the generous people who help us keep the project alive. I encourage people to inquire about the project and see the vision for moving forward. There's a lot of hours that get put into this project. I told Kathy G when we were planting the trees up in Soldiers Park, I think next year, just for fun, I'm gonna actually keep note of like how many hours go into it because I don't think people realize, how much time and effort goes into it. So that's pretty much my project for this year. I do have a little bit more money left over from the Rotary. So I don't know if you would like to get another tree for, I know we took down a tree and cross packed in the back. So if you were interested in replacing that red beech that I got at that little beanie that's really, that's the many of those around here. Anyway, think about that. If not, then I will leave it to buy more neighbors. Because that was what the grant was designed for the tree. I have mine on. Look here, I'll get to Jessica.
Thank you.
So that just shows you all the money that was spent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tricia, for your attention and your dedication and work in that project.
Yeah, it's a great project, and I think, there's value in it, so I think that's the important of it, the value, and so.
Trish, is there something the town can do to, would you want like volunteers solicited to help with watering, like I know you've got someone in Solon Park.
Yeah,
Is that something we could do?
I was lucky this year, because close to 20 trees, that was a lot of watering to take on, so I do have a lady that's taking care of the park up there, so I only have to do the couple of trees, the other park, so I mean, I just have to be sure, I would love for people to help, but I have to be sure that if
They're gonna follow through.
they're gonna follow. Because I can't say, okay, Monday, somebody really released them from Wednesday, and it was hot like last Friday and Saturday, and they're all, okay, straight. So far, they,
Right.
so, yeah, so I think, like I said, I hope people in the future see the baby, well, maybe they're going as long as I can, but
Well, maybe people who are watching this video will hear the plea and
yeah.
contact someone. I mean, it's lovely for our community. It makes the town home, so thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate what you've done. Thank you very much. Next up this evening, appointment with John Davitt.
Well, first, thank you to town manager Seer for keeping things running here, and to the selectmen for doing a thankless job. The goal is to ask the selectmen to send the town crew up to cut down a number of cedar trees at the intersection of Mount Prospect Road and this Whitefield Road, now Holy Spirit. And also to agree to hire a contractor with a bucket and a hydraulic saw to trim the hedge. I will consider, since that's a safety improvement, covering all or part of that expense. So if the town will send up the town crew to remove allegedly funded trees, and commit to trimming the hedge, Robert McNeil has figuratively shaken hands with me and agreed to withdraw his suit. So we can conclude this thing very simply and easily, with no expense to the town, or minimal expense.
I've been sitting on the board here for 30+ years. These trees have been a constant issue for 30-something years. Just sending the town crew up and trimming them this year does not solve our problem. We have an agreement that you can sign tonight that does the same thing, but also solves the town's problem into the future. And that is what we need to accomplish. So a select board sitting here in 15 years isn't having this conversation again. I urge you to sign the agreement that you were sent that follows the plan that you submitted for your subdivision. And I think that's the only thing this board of selectmen can do at this time.
Well, selecting the right act, we have a legal issue pending against the town, which we could resolve by having the town crew cut down the trees and trim the hedge. Now, let me say one other thing regarding this agreement. It's inflammatory. It's completely unreasonable. It's in perpetuity, covering our entire road frontage, which is miles of road frontage, giving the town unilateral authority to do anything they want forever. This is completely out of the question. Furthermore, if you read that agreement, you will see that every single thing in there regards the rights of the town. There's not one single thing in there that regards the rights of the landowner. And furthermore, this is the second agreement from Attorney Bold, which has just been completely unreasonable. Now, yes, we could look 15 years ahead, or the selectmen could send the town crew up. We can cut the trees down. I'm not talking about trimming them. I'm talking about cutting them down and removing them and trimming the hedge, and it would resolve the issue now. And who knows where we will be in 15 years.
I will say again, Mr. Davitt, this agreement uses the plan you submitted for your subdivision.
Okay,
which shows what the right of way is. The town is asking to maintain its right of way. I'm sorry, we can end this tonight with you signing this agreement.
you can also end this by having the selectmen send the town crew up. Now, let me just provide a bit of history as far as agreements go. Ed Sampson wanted to build turnaround for the town truck in the greater East Whitefield town line. I agreed to let him do that. There was no agreement. They were constructing this on our property. The town wanted to put in a dry hydrant to protect the houses around, which is all digging a trench and putting pipes into our pond. And I permitted the town to do that, and there was no agreement. And the snow machine organization wanted to build a corridor for the Whitefield, Lancaster snow machine route. And there was a sort of a pro forma agreement, but essentially no agreement. And the Week State Park has a trail going around our property, about a quarter of it on our property. And there's no agreement. So I have been dealing with the town for 30 or 40 years, being a cooperative citizen. And I'm suggesting that number one, this agreement that the town attorney has put before us is inflammatory, unfair, and unnecessary. And number two, that the selectmen can resolve this issue in a day or so by sending the town crew up to cut the trees down. And furthermore, if the town doesn't do that and holds out to have this unfair agreement signed, it's going to lead to possibly continued unnecessary litigation.
You want to add? I would just like to ask, what do you think you're going to achieve by this all going to smooth? What are we hoping to achieve? We're trying to solve this without going forward. I don't understand what you think you're going to get by those reports.
The issue could have been solved 30-something years ago.
Yeah, we're not going to sign what agreement. It's not very good. We're trying to solve this fairly for the taxpayers so that there's no more.
Okay. And make a motion, not agree to what they are. Okay. Would that be wrong?
Actually, during appointments, we don't take voices from the public. I'm sorry.
This is a code, this is
I'm aware.
litigant.
I don't.
I think we should hear it. Additional to it.
It is my prerogative, and I'm choosing not to. But thank you. You can stay and speak during public comments, though. If you want to stay for the whole meeting, we're glad to hear you guys.
Can hear me on Tuesday.
I think we've said all there is said.
Yeah,
I
I have to kind of follow this agreement at this time.
Okay, I would like to ask one question. I did provide the town with an agreement too. And there are two questions. Number one, what's wrong with my agreement that I gave the town? And number two, what direction is the town giving? I want to work with these contractors in the town approved. Not just turn this over carte blanche, and there are a lot of good reasons for that. What instructions is the town giving to the town attorney? Because some of the things he's come up with are just so unreasonable and inflammatory that no one would ever sign them or agree to them.
think I'm going to stop now. I don't think this is something to be litigated tonight. And I think we just move forward, agreeing that we disagree tonight, and hopefully we can come to a resolution. Yeah, you still have.
A motion, will someone second?
I'm sorry, what was the motion again?
A motion that we will not sign the agreement that the debitors have proposed to them.
That is not this agreement.
That is not this.
This is our,
Right. What they're proposing, I'm saying, we will not agree to.
this is our, proposal.
This is ours.
Yeah, this is what we're going to.
Yep.
So you would want.
Do you want to remove the motion or make it?
Thank you.
It's not in front of us. This proposal's not in front of us. Our proposal to him is.
We'll
We'll just move forward.
withdraw my motion.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay, next up, public hearings. There are no public hearings this evening. Review of minutes for the June 1st, 2026 work session.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
We have review of minutes for June 1st, 2026, regular meeting minutes.
Second motion?
I'll motion.
I will second.
Second discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes.
We have a whole slew of signed various paperwork this evening. First up are fireworks permits. I have one for Paul Hood at 44 Pleasant Valley Road. For Thomas Schmidt at 260 North Road. Riverside Camping and RV Resort at 94 Bridge Street. For Tim Brown at 80 Riverside Drive. And we also have a permit for Stephen Tennyson at 94 Garland Road. Has not been signed currently by the chiefs. If either of them do not sign on that, we will pull the application.
Thank you.
Next up, intent to cut for Robin Reynolds Jr., tax map R20, lot 11. We have timber tax warrant for Johnson, tax map R12, lot 9. We have DeRozier's, tax map R09, lot 42.
Executive tabs. Those 7-page things in this.
And then we have one for Griswold, tax map R16, lot 34. Next up this evening for new business, we have 2025 assessment appeals. One is for Snowman, tax map P6, lot 11. Property owner is requesting a solar exemption for 2025. The panels were installed midwinter 2025. Application for the exemption and credits are due by April 15th and the tax year applied for. The owner's application was made after the tax bills were received in the fall. It was approved and applied for the 2026 tax year. Owner states that they were unaware that an application was necessary. The town's tax bills are required to notify taxpayers that exemptions and credits may be available and that it is the property owner's responsibility to apply for such tax breaks. No timely application was made for 2025. Denial of the abatement is recommended.
Make a motion to deny.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is for Arsenal, tax map P6, lot 20. Similarly, the property owner is requesting a solar exemption for 2025. The panels were installed midwinter 2025. Application for exemptions and credits are due by April 15th and the tax year applied for. The owner's application was made after the tax bills were received in the fall. It was approved and applied for the 2026 tax year. The owner states that they were unaware that the application was necessary. The town's tax bills are required to notify taxpayers that exemptions and credits may be available, and that it is the property owner's responsibility to apply for such tax breaks. No timely application was made for 2025. Denial of the abatement is recommended.
Motion to deny.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is for McDowell, tax map P10, lot 14. The owner of 50 William Street purchased the property from Fannie Mae in July 2025 for $88,000. This property had been vacant and neglected for 7+ years since the prior owners died and the property went through foreclosure. It was sold as is, uninhabitable condition with most of the copper pipes removed and much of the interior in need of repair and renovation. The owner is currently making repairs and has installed a new hot air furnace, made some foundation and insulation repairs, some new sheetrock, run domestic hot water lines, and is in the process of adding a second bathroom. The owner is making progress and the assessment will be reviewed annually as the property is improved and value added. A reduction in assessment is recommended based on the condition of the property. The
43,400.
so the revised amount would be $99,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is Ridgewood Hill Limited, tax map R9, lot 1. This one, again, the property owner is again appealing the assessment of Ridgewood Hill Apartments located on Powder Hill Drive based on the property's fair market value. An analysis using income approach was provided as well as financial statements for the property. No professional appraisal was provided, but the income analysis that was performed on behalf of the taxpayer offered an opinion of market value at $1,079,300. A reduction in assessment is recommended based on adjustments to the land and building calculations, more accurately reflecting the value of the assessed excess land. Further consideration was also made to the town's level of assessment, the equalization ratio, review of the regulations and land use limitations, and the income approach and analyses. So Jason is recommending the new assessed value to be $1,206,500. That's a difference in $45,400.
Reduction.
Correct.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is for Lambert, tax map R2, lot 90. The property owner is appealing based on comparable property assessments and more specifically view adjustments utilized in calculating land assessments that townwide. A number of property assessments were just listed to show the subject versus others. A spreadsheet was supplied with the land assessment calculations and an extraction of contributory value of view. While the math shown appears to calculate correctly, the purported result is not entirely accurate. There are a number of adjustments made to every property's land assessment depending on location, topography, site condition, size, configuration, abutters, other uses, driveway type, road status, and neighborhood. Many of these combined adjustments contributed to differences in the final column in the analyses, so the value displayed is not only attributable to views. Um, After an inspection of the property and review of comparable properties, a reduction in assessment is recommended. The revised assessment is fair and equitable compared with other assessments and is supported by the market. Jason is recommending a total assessment to come down to $190,200 for a difference of $15,000.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next up this evening, any other business? Nope. Old business, we have a community camp forestry management plan. Greg Ainsworth delivered the final forestry management plan to me on June 9th. He was exceptional to work with. He also completed an ecological review with DES in the event that we wanted to do something. We had pre-approval for the property. If we wanted to conduct any forestry activities. The recommendations include cutting a few stands within the next 3 winters with an eye on wildlife management and some increased recreation educational opportunities. Robin will be sharing this with the Conservation Commission, and Eli will be sharing it as well with the spending committee. There are 62 acres out there total. 5 are non-forest land and 57 are forest land. He is recommending to cut 1/3 of them within the next 3 winters. Any questions? That's it. Select board member reports.
All set.
I'm having tonight.
Okay, town manager reports. I've had 4 welfare inquiries and 1 award. The water department started potholing today and they were able to just identify 24 lines, which is phenomenal. But fantastic start. Other areas in town may not be as favorable, but it was a great job for both the highway and water for their tough work. Regarding Soldiers Park, Annetta is passing the torch, but there are still 3 ladies who will be remaining, helping to maintain the Soldiers Park garden. I didn't realize the significance of the daffodils which were installed in the garden. So for folks who are new like me, the town came together after 9/11 to install the daffodils on Veterans Day in 2001, and people really contributed, like the beautification, to make something that passed on throughout time. The Lancaster Historical Society on July 4th will have the Wilder Cemetery open for visitors following the parade from 11 to 2, and will be telling stories of individuals in turn there. They will have 4 members there that will answer questions. And as a reminder, the town's parade will start at 10 a.m. We're still open to participants, followed by a hot dog picnic with DJ at Centennial Park. And then to cap off the day from 1 to 3, Colonel Town will be hosting an ice cream social to celebrate their 100th birthday as well. Happy to say that the town hall is 100% compliant in emergency lighting and exit signage. Nick Blodgett will be conducting monthly inspections of our fire extinguishers across the board and AEDs. I want to thank Nick, Chris, Rusty, and Chief Lynn for their assistance. We anticipate the side steps towards Mechanic Street to be replaced within the next 2 weeks or so. There was a delay from the vendor. I know I told you that in a minute. It's coming. The traffic circle was replanted, and I want to thank both Leo Enos and the water department. The water department fixed the broken hose that was out there. So we're hoping to make sure that we water them and keep them maintained. That is it for me this evening. Next up, information. There's a land use permit for Jonathan Larrabee, Compass Properties LLC at 22 Main Street. For Jay and Kathy Jean Lavoie at 16 Prospect Street. For Shane Beatty, 369 Main Street LLC for 369 Main Street. Lori Suma and David at 93 Rowell Road, and K&H Supply Incorporated for 26 Bridge Street. There's also a signed permit in your packet for Evolution Custom Detailing, Roger Simpson at 287 Main Street. Next up this evening is public comment.
Excellent.
Yes.
Alan, you had your hand up first.
I'm pretty proud of you, selectmen, stick with your guns on that, you should be able to thought they did a very good job. People had done 20 years ago, you had to paint the deal.
Huh?
Yes. I have a question.
for Trish's beautification project, and the reason I want to ask is because it's important, and she's doing a good job about covering expenses to make the town beautiful without going to the taxes, right? That's great.
No.
Rob, okay, I try really hard to follow our rules of procedure, and our rules of procedure do not allow the cross talking of the public. So you can make a comment to us.
I'm asking you, what is the custody of the money that's being expended in the
Okay.
board?
I think, and as you know also, these are public comments, not Q and A. So what comment do you want to make about the beautification
How
project?
do we rephrase it then?
Thank you.
I'm interested in how the funds that are being used for beautification are received and managed, because I would like to see the town pursue other funds like that to solve other problems. I think it's a great thing. It's hard to bring it up. I don't mean it to be criticism, but I just am looking for mechanisms to do that so that we can raise money.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. I would encourage you to talk to Tricia offline.
That sounds great. And that's a shame. So if I'm not criticizing you,
No, okay, we're gonna stop. Thanks.
I have to apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I tried to run a tight meeting, guys, you know it.
Okay, you're type meeting person. I appreciate it. We regard to the damage hedge. Am I
Oh, you've
right?
got a second comment you're making. Okay, go ahead.
Well, this is public comment. Am I limited to the number of comments?
I didn't realize you were moving to another topic, so I'm just making sure I understand the pivot.
But so when I said regarding the damage hedge issue, I didn't clue you in. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. So I think the issue that was brought to the town by the McKeel suit was a writ of mandamus, which said that by being aware of the problem and not solving it, the town created a potential liability. Is that correct?
I think you're making a statement, not asking a question.
I'm asking a question.
This is public comments.
Can you please explain the writ of mandamus?
No, I cannot.
Okay, thank you very much. Issue two. I would like to comment that the town has for many years failed to treat property owners on Mount Prospect Road equally. They mow my hedge vertically without asking me, they don't mow his. And if that had been done, this would not be a problem. So I think the issue, and the other thing I'd say, I'm very disappointed because I think this is the first time that I've seen, I think the town has done a pretty good job representing your position, but this is the first time I've seen the other side come forth and actually be willing to do the things that would solve the problem. So I'm disappointed that at this opportunity, it wasn't possible to reschedule or resolve or something. So that's my comment about that. I would like to thank the town for keeping the handicap door open today. It had a sign and everything in the past. I haven't been able to get in there. I would also like to comment that at the housing authority, we're sort of in a jam because we still have only 3 people, supposed to have 5, and if one of them is missing, then we can't meet them. We were supposed to meet this morning and we couldn't to address a quarterly financial thing. The problem was that one person had a death in the family and had to cancel. So just like to encourage finding someone else. I don't know how you do it, but I wanted to keep that on up and where is the last thing? Okay, so I just wanted to report that you have asked us, meaning Emmett Smith Committee, to pursue for a few more hours the matter at hand. And we have contacted the attorney, and the attorney has come up with a plan that should not go over the limit we've decided. But I have to say that when we get there, we're going to have to hand it over to the Selectboard. I feel like we were trying to do something on behalf of the town that's really the responsibility of the town. And so, if you're just deciding you don't want to pursue the money, I understand that, but I don't think Emmett Smith is in a position to go forward indefinitely spending. So those are the comments I have.
Thank you. Any other comments tonight?
Well, all right, I'm gonna try to do this in a comment.
Thank you.
I think that this was a negotiation between the parties that should have been in non-public. and should not have been in a public arena.
Anything else? Rob?
Okay, question. Did I miss the discussion of the forestry plan? For the
Yes.
community camp?
Yes,
And was, what was said?
you can catch it in the minutes or on video.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Nothing done? No. Oh, I'll take a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes.
Can't walk around the region.